The Mausoleum at Halicarnassus, a tomb fit for a god? Imagine a monument so grand that it inspired the very word we use today for extravagant tombs, mausoleum. Picture a towering structure rising over 40 meters into the sky, blending Greek elegance, Egyptian symmetry, and Lycian creativity, all built to honor one man. Sounds like the stuff of legend, right? But this isn't a myth. It once stood proudly in the ancient city of Halicarnassus, in modern-day Turkey. The Mausoleum at Halicarnassus was one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, yet today, most people know little about it. And even less about the incredible history, artistry, and mystery that surrounded it. So what made this tomb so unforgettable? And why does it still matter over 2,000 years later? Let's travel back in time and uncover the secrets of the Mausoleum at Halicarnassus. The rise of a wonder, historical context. The story begins in the 4th century BCE with Mausoleus, a satrap, or provincial governor, of the Persian Empire. He ruled over Caria, a region in modern-day southwestern Turkey, and though he was under Persian control, he embraced Greek culture. When Mausoleus died around 353 BCE, his wife, and sister, Artemisia too, was devastated. To honor him, she commissioned a tomb so elaborate it would make his memory eternal. Artemisia spared no expense. She hired the best Greek sculptors of the time, including Scopas, Bryaxis, Timotheus, and Laocharis, to adorn the structure with magnificent reliefs and sculptures. The mausoleum blended architectural styles. The step structure echoed Egyptian pyramids. The Ionic columns reflected Greek temples, and the sculptures bore a distinct Anatolian flair. This cultural fusion was revolutionary and stunning. Designing eternity, architectural and artistic significance, the mausoleum wasn't just large, it was a masterpiece of design. According to ancient sources, it stood roughly 45 meters tall, with a rectangular base measuring 30 by 40 meters. The structure was divided into 3 tiers, a solid rectangular podium, a colonnaded middle section, and a stepped pyramid topped with a grand chariot sculpture of Mausoleus and Artemisia. The friezes told stories of mythological battles, Amazons fighting Greeks, centaurs clashing with humans, reflecting the struggles of life and the defiance of death. Atop it all, the chariot statue stood as a symbol of power and immortality. In many ways, the mausoleum was more than a tomb, it was a statement of legacy, a piece of political propaganda, and a breathtaking artistic collaboration. Its design influenced buildings for centuries, from Roman monuments to modern-day memorials. Myths, misconceptions, and the mystery of its fall. One of the biggest misconceptions about the mausoleum is that it was destroyed quickly or by a single catastrophic event. In reality, it stood for over 16 centuries, longer than most modern buildings, enduring wars, invasions, and natural disasters. The most likely cause of its destruction was a series of earthquakes between the 12th and 15th centuries, which gradually reduced it to ruins. Later, the Knights of St. John used many of the remaining stones to build the nearby Bodrum Castle. Some legends also claim the tomb was cursed or that its destruction was divine punishment. These are myths, fueled by dramatic storytelling and misunderstandings. The truth is more mundane, and more fascinating. What remains today are fragments scattered across museums and walls, quietly telling their story. A tale of rediscovery, archaeological insights. In the mid-19th century, British archaeologist Charles Newton rediscovered the site. With the help of the British Museum, he excavated several sculptures and architectural pieces, many of which are now on display in London. Among the most striking finds were the statues believed to represent Mausoleus and Artemisia, colossal figures standing over 3 meters tall. Newton's excavation was groundbreaking for its time and offered a rare glimpse into Hellenistic sculpture, funerary architecture, and cross-cultural influence. Yet the excavation also sparked debates about artifact removal and colonial archaeology. Discussions still relevant today as we reconsider how to respect and preserve ancient heritage. Why it still matters. Lessons for today. You might be wondering, why should a long-lost tomb built for a dead ruler thousands of years ago matter to us today? The mausoleum teaches us about the fusion of cultures, the expression of grief through art, and the human obsession with legacy. It reminds us that even in death, people have sought to be remembered not just through words, but through stone, sculpture, and symbolism. In an age where digital memory seems fleeting, the mausoleum stands as a quiet challenge. How will we be remembered? What will we leave behind that speaks of our values, our creativity, our humanity? Popular myths debunked. Myth: the mausoleum was a pyramid. Truth: while it included a stepped pyramid as its top tier, the majority of its structure was more temple-like, blending Greek and Lycian styles with Egyptian inspiration. Myth: nothing remains of the mausoleum today. Truth: Several key fragments and sculptures survive and are housed in the British Museum, while its base and some ruins still exist in Bodrum, Turkey. Myth: Mausoleum was a pharaoh. Truth: Mausoleum was a Persian satrap, not Egyptian royalty, ruling a culturally blended region under the Persian Empire, which explains the architectural fusion. Fun facts to amaze your friends. Did you know the term mausoleum comes directly from Mausoleum's name? His tomb was so famous that the word became generic. Another fun twist: the chariot statue on top of the mausoleum was so large it could have been seen from the sea, guiding sailors like a kind of spiritual lighthouse. Conclusion: echoes of eternity. The mausoleum at Halicarnassus may not be standing tall today, but its legacy towers over history. It was more than a tomb, it was a monument to love, to legacy, to artistry, and to human ambition. If you enjoyed exploring the story behind this ancient wonder, give this video a like and subscribe to NeuralNet Academy. Got a theory about what the original mausoleum looked like? Or want us to dive into another historical mystery or ancient wonder? Drop your thoughts in the comments, we love hearing from curious minds like yours. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring.